Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. It's great to see so many of you here, some familiar faces, some new faces. Welcome to Ha. As you probably already know, it's an intimate evening combining spoken word and music. And we've got we've got classical music, we've got some soul, R&B, and some jazz influences in there. So it's going to be an amazing show for you all. We've got some fantastic poets and some fantastic musicians involved. One thing I did want to announce is that I'm really happy to say that we, as a team, managed to secure some Arts Council funding and Kickstarter backing to take this project to the next level. And we'll be developing a new Young Artist Creative Session series for next year with the Roundhouse, which I'm super excited to announce. Thank you. I actually can't really see any of you, so this is like just weird applause coming at me. To kickstart that, we worked with some amazing young poets from Harris Academy in Peckham. I don't know if any of you are here. No? Friends, family? Anyway. So what used to happen is this project started with the London Symphony Orchestra. And it was through a residency I had with them, I wanted to bring together an evening where we could sit like this and enjoy music in a slightly different way. And I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So that was the journey. And so it's happened a couple of times now. And we wanted to inject some new blood into it. So Salena Godden, who will be performing today for you, and she's got some new work for you also, will be performing, used to perform Shade. I don't know if any of you know it. It's a beautiful essay poem from The Good Immigrant, which is an amazing collection of works, and you should all read it if you haven't already. And so that essay poem, we read extracts to break up the evening, to sort of provide a sort of thematic framework of race, identity, mental well-being, and also gender. Today, those extracts are going to be read by these young poets from Peckham Harris Academy on film. So we're really excited to show you that and, yeah, sort of kickstart this journey. So thank you very much. I won't talk anymore. And, yeah, let's get the musicians on and start the evening.
When you're ready.
Your shade is not skin deep. Your shade is not just about your heart and your religion and spirituality, your ghosts and ancestors. Your shade is your voice and your shadow, your history and your connection to a map, a country, to geography and a time and place. Your shade is an industry. Shade is a token, shade is a passport, shade is a cage, and shade is a status. We tick other.
Wherever you live, wherever you are from, it seems it is all about shade. Universally, we are divided, and whatever shade you are born, it is not right or good enough. We are in a giant brainwash. We are being organised by colour and tone. The natural shade of your skin must be approved, altered and filtered. Your skin is a living organ. It is the casing for your sausage meat soul and the armour for your muscles and bones, the protective layer of the outside of you with the outside world. But it is wrong. We tick other.
and that night paralysed me with fear. I dreamt that I was giving birth to twins. I heard the nurse say, "Sophia, they're almost here." Now, I do believe that every child is a blessing, a direct gift from God. But on this occasion, I turned to the nurse and I said, "Wait, please, hold on. My kids are going to have skin like me, stained by the sun's verse, and I know that black has its own magic, but on this land, it seems to be cursed. And those that will be trusting to protect my twins, it hurts to say that they're the worst. So how do I teach my kids to look past race if they're identified by their race first?" Policemen with black heads, intentions to exfoliate. A judge with some phobias prefers magnolias. Missing CCTV, he's innocent, I know he is. A stereotype so deep you're provoking him. You poker man is poker man, of course he's gonna stick or squeeze you. Just cause to stop and search, you're bluffing, please, we don't believe you. We're forced to teach our young they haven't got a right to need you, or a right to be alright and be black at the same time. Teach our young that their black is magic, but it's also a crime. Tell them to act right and be polite, and always keep your hands where they can see them. Because the moment the police have seen your pigments, you've already given them enough reason. So I'm giving the kids a real teaching, and I don't mean to be preaching because only God's words are really reaching, but as you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, please be aware of these evils, please be careful of these people, take your hood down, don't move too fast, and please don't be too outspoken, and please don't mistake this verse for anger. This is a verse for all the hearts broken, because Lord knows my heart broke when I woke to the news of another mistaken identity, another one dead earlier than he was meant to be. Another victim of racist abuse. He was a first year, just trying to do uni. Hadn't even met his ACS yet. The locals caught him whilst he was moving and asked, "What's a monkey like you doing out of the zoo?" So of course he wasn't approving. He turned around and said, "What exactly are you alluding to?" They said, "Alluding." That's a big word for someone like you. He said someone like me. They said someone like you before they continued to verbally abuse. They started punching him up, so he started to shove, and they said, "That is not something that you want to do, because regardless of how this turns out, they are only ever going to arrest you." So how do I teach my son that he might do no wrong, but somehow his rights will still be denied? How do I teach him about racial stigmas, but still teach him to have pride? How do I teach my girls to be strong instead of scared? Teach them that this whole world needs their magic to love it through its fear. Teach them that the love they give should be a direct reflection of the love that lives within them, because when hate lives within man, there is no space for justice within. How on earth are we going to teach our kids about the colour of their skin? Well, I will tell her that she isn't burnt. It's just that the stars live so close to her skin. So if she bites her tongue for too long, this very earth may cease to spin. I will tell her to write poems along Orion's belt and let constellations pour from her lips. Tell her that vulnerability is a strength that only the brave have ever felt. I will tell him why his anger scares me. Inform him of the powers that be. Have necessary conversations with him about masculinity and sensitivity, and eventually I will have to tell him what different looks from the police can mean. Explain that people fear what they can't understand, and sometimes hate what they can't comprehend. So that red in their eyes is confusion as to how the light and the dark is able to exist within you. My black kings, keep rising, keep shining, keep grinding. And girls, my black queens, I know sometimes our existence is tragic, but you can't ever, ever, ever let them man steal your magic.
Nkosi sikelele Africa. Nkosi sikelele Africa. Nkosi I sit by this open door and break stones. I sit by this open door, yeah, 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 and break stones. I sit by this iron door and break stones. I sit and wait for that day. In our lifetime, time fell like water from his hand. For our lifetime, Tina usapolwayo, Tina usapolwayo, Sapolwayo, Iswaimi Tanzania Tina usapolwayo, Tina usalupa ganizo, Tina usapolwayo, Sapolwayo, Iswaimi Tanzania Mandela is free. In our lifetime, always is why he is Africa.
I now imagine a giant separating people like he is recycling glass at the bottle bank. Brown skin glass there, yellow skin glass here, white skin glass over there. But most people aren't simply one or the other, either black or white. I wish the giant would pick the glass people up, hold us up to the light. Then he'd see that together and united as a people, we are a beautiful picture. We are a multicoloured mosaic, a glorious stained glass window. But the giant scratches his head and continues flinging people in separate buckets, referencing his colour chart for shades of human. Paddy field brown is poverty, greasy chip white is skint, Black Panther beret black is Super Bowl uproar, shot teenager is chalk on bloody concrete, geisha is pink cherry blossom, ping pong is ladyboy white, tangerine queen is Essex teak, cardboard grey is benefits grounger, rat tail beige is food bank, pop pink is Instagram cheerleader, fox hunt is Tory, war crime is blood diamond red, Middle Eastern oil is gold dust, drown brown is refugee, immigrant brown is better media coverage. The giant shrugs. He throws some people in the other bucket and some in the sea to die. His supervisor reminds him it is vital to tell the difference between immigrant brown and refugee brown. Let's be diligent about that. Let's make sure we pay attention to that. News just in. What's the shade? Boko Haram black. Entire village. Over 80 people burnt to death in their homes. No, not newsworthy. Not important. Grenfell, cheap housing, cheap lives, no justice, not important. Bring back our girls, no, not today, not important. Black Lives Matter, no, not today. Say her name, no, not newsworthy. The indifference is clear. The difference is as clear as oil and gold. We tick other.
A wise man once told me there are those who will and those who actually will. Don't let thought precede action by too big of a margin. I see ambition left standing stagnant at traffic lights, like it was waiting for permission to go. When all I see, when all I perceive leads me to believe that red lights are only internal, self-imposed. I have seen it. Quick wits akin to sick whips, fast cars left neglected. He told me he had ambition but no drive, and so I replied, maybe the fumes from that diesel fuel you are ingesting is not effective for your petrol engine. And he knew this. I have been this. Ambition but lacking clear vision, and so my passion was the atlas by which my path was directed. I never knew, I still don't know exactly the path that I am headed. Just let my headlights through darkest nights provide the right amount of guidance for me to keep on stepping, and you must always keep on stepping. Because for me to get from A to B, I do not need to see B. Just only know the road ahead is correct for my journey. She told me, you're lucky. Your passion can make you money. And this is true. But do not chase the money, chase your passion, and that money will slowly but surely follow you. She said she was not fixated on the cash. That's just a necessary evil, and I tend to agree. But don't let that provide a roadblock between you and your dreams. She said dreams. She said dreams. All she wanted to do was to know what she wanted to do. I said all she wanted to do was to know what she wanted to do. And so I said, this is the age of Google. And if we don't know something, we simply search for it. I have called it, he, she, many things. This untamable beast that beats so deep inside of my ribcage. Or the curious child inside insisting on playing. Or even the bitter old man whose acquaintance I hope never to make, who given a chance might say, I wish I had done more when I was your age. And that I simply cannot take. And so these days, people call me impatient, but I'm just sick of fucking waiting. He told me, this is my older brother. My older brother, he told me, make sure you are ready. I said, we can never be ready, only prepared. Like trying to take flight in the hope that our wings composed of knockbacks, experiences, successes, and failures have not grown threadbare. He told me he was passionless. I told him at passionless was more than some had passion left. I said he told me he was passionless. I told him at passionless was more than some had passion left. Avert your gaze from the rear view, stalling over all you wish that you did do, and instead keep your forward fucking focus. I do this, we do this as much because we want to, as because we have to. Something inside has taken hold and you will know it when it grabs you. It's that child. Let that guide you. Because following your passion is only as risky as kissing that girl or guy you have always liked but never quite had the courage to pursue. At least, if you try and you fail, then you know that he or she just was not quite right for you, and that's all right. Isn't it? But not trying is far worse than failing, because not knowing is an ailment for which there is no prescription, and there never, ever, 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 ever will be. All around me, I see people flourish and flounder, succeed and stagnate, driven and directionless, and I feel I can relate to both sides equally. But what can I do to inspire? Because they say that talk is cheap and actions speak. They say that talk is cheap and actions speak. They say that talk is cheap and actions speak. They say that talk is cheap and actions speak louder than words. And I just hope my verbs, they start to reverberate and they slowly but surely move something. And the friction sparks a flame inside that leads to fires burning so bright it causes you to do something. This revolution shall not be televised, but it might be YouTubed. If you've got your phone out, maybe, I don't know. You choose your path and carve it apart. Because there are as many people that look up, and I mean this, seriously. There are as many people that look up to each and every single one of you as you look up. Oh, that was fun. I love spaces like this. It's in it. The line between audience and performer starts to dissolve, and that's what I'm really about. But I won't start waffling. I'll be here all day. So tomorrow, a week tomorrow, is a year since I lost my foster father, my father figure, the person I regard as my dad. And it's been a crazy-ass journey. Fastest year of my life, hands down. Hands down. So many lessons learned through grief. It's not all doom and gloom. Whilst there's definitely times that you feel you could do without, there's so many dots of my life, my personality, my psyche, for being able to connect over this last 12 months. And it's felt like this internal pilgrimage is what I describe it as. With my head for a hammer and my pencil for a chisel, going into these deepest, darkest corners of myself. I'm not the same person I was 12 months ago. Right now, as I was saying to somebody before, it feels like this battle. I call it this cocoon. This cocoon you wrap around yourself. It became super internal. Spend the first 7-8 months just habitually writing, self-therapy. Beautiful. Loved it. Even though it was filled with so much pain, I was able to bring some light out of that. And so now is the time to make a choice. Do I choose to stay inside this cocoon, locked inside myself? It's a place I've become used to, it's become comfortable, or do I choose to make the effort to break out to brighter sides of myself that I know I need? This is a piece that I wrote in the belly of my grief. Sorrow and elation. Yeah. Where I'm standing right now, I just do this shit on my back. Yeah, I'm a Jack Jones, the only one I can trust. Yeah, that I can really believe in. No one to talk to without feeling like an inconvenience. Of course, I got family, but they go through this shit together. Do this clever. Acid rain comes raining down like stormy weather. Nah, I know it's love, I never doubt that. Have to walk this road alone, return with gold when I'm back. You feel me? Lonely road of grief, I feel I have to walk upon it all on my own. No, it's not the case. In this situation, struggle with communication, but truth is that truly I need space. Is tension kindling to these fires inside? Tasting bitter vitriol in my throat that resides. Storm force they be swirling around in my brain. I'm just staring off into space. I can feel that my passion's vacant. Deep inside I'm feeling the pain could never convey. I can never articulate, never keep your sympathy. I don't really need it. Choose company and freeze a crowd conversing with my demons. Question if it's right to dwell inside these feelings. Is this part of healing or open wound for the bleeding? Have to let my heart cry. Smile across my face, then I'm a liar. Inauthentic, that there's no desire, never. There's those moments that just fit in, oh so potent, keep it flowing like the ocean. I told you there's those moments. There's just those moments. There's just those moments. And let the acid rain fall down on me, and I'll learn these lessons that come with it. And as it burns at the accessible, my flesh know it's a blessing. Yes, it's something I really feel that is comforting. I blink. I take my pen and slowly write into this wound and turn my pain into my pleasure from inside of this cocoon. Am I say this to myself? Or is this writing just providing something inside that's essential to my health? Look, I could drown deep in my sorrows or let them lift my horizons to skies as bright as tomorrow's. My optimism is borrowed from a Solomon of yesterday. Image of his spirit will never let me disintegrate. Cease to drowning deep in the sea of grief. Take control of waves. The captain of the sea that's inside of me have to navigate. Every line I write is igniting some dynamite that I'm placing inside my pain. It's catharsis with pen to page, and you wonder what I'm insane. Feeling like I'm Gohan or Goku go Super Saiyan, man, it's crazy up in my brain. Sometimes I feel like cling on to my sorrow, eats me up inside. Play the wolf but really act master lamb to the sacrifice. Do you hurt or do you heal? Analyze your final actions. Are you serving what is real? Is the purpose when fulfilled something you know inside is worthy to reveal? Or are you holding on to notions keep you comfy in your shell? Knowing when to just unfold from this cocoon is such a skill. I keep my eyes towards horizon, iris kiss the mountain peak. I'm feeling nervous, feeling meek, but finding purpose on this beat. But finding purpose on this beat, 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 but finding purpose on this beat. Never have I ever felt this level of fear living inside of me. I won't be defeated by the reaper. The language of my body covered in grief. A translator needed for those that struggle to read it. Look, keep it real. Tell it how you feel. Let the layers peel away and exfoliate with the acid rain. Exfoliate with the acid rain. Feeling like a piece of coal in a cocoon, a diamond butterfly when I emerge as from this womb, emerging from this tomb, emerging from this tomb. So let me dangle from the highest heights. I capture image of this picture right, a Superman without a kryptonite, sleep like a child in his kryptonite. I bless the Lord, of course I see the light. Yeah. Yeah, Victor Roy Brokaw, rest in peace. Love, man, love.
In the first minutes of meeting you, people want to figure out what shade you are. And this is your superpower. It buys you valuable time. People ask, where do you come from? And if you reply, I just jumped off the tube on Tottenham Court Road, they'll shake their head. No, they say. Where do you come from as in? Pause. Come from. You earn time to chameleon, to camouflage, to make a shade darker or lighter, to morph into what is required or expected. Whatever it takes to survive, whatever it takes to be heard, whatever it takes to get the job. Whatever armor you must wear that day is called positive discrimination, right? No. Wrong. Very wrong. We hesitate. The pen hovers over your boarding pass. We tick other.
Britain is an island surrounded by salt sea water and inhabited by people of every shade. I do not think of people as flocks of sheep, but more as shoals of fish, swimming to find food and heat.
I do not think of people as flocks of sheep, but more as shoals of fish, swimming to find food and heat and migrating to survive. We could protect each other better if we swam together in unison. We could protect each other from great white sharks dominating everything. We could. But we are like fish, as fickle as fish. We tick other.
are snow leopard, not sheep. You are snow leopard, not sheep. You will not follow the flock that flock to the street. You are snow leopard, not sheep. Violence the rhythm, but my heart beats off beat. So I ran from the street in pursuit of my dreams. I, the snow leopard, have seen sheep become lions, looking for something to eat, looking for fathers, but fathers do flee. And you can see the cracks in concrete, screw faces, attitudes abrasive. Cars fly past, bass shaking the pavements, bodies two-step to its cadence. I, the snow leopard, have seen him wear his self-esteem as low as his jeans. In the classroom he was told, people like you shall never succeed. He was hoping to flower, but he was treated as weed. He was hoping to flower, but he was treated as weed. So now aggression he bleeds. I, the snow leopard, have seen too many mothers weighed down by grief, weighed down by lack of funds. Some days can't eat, weighed down by the fear of your child being harassed by police. This snow leopard has seen desperation and shame rest in the eyes of drug fiends as they lean on lampposts, support withering limbs, and he keeps pedaling. He keeps pedaling. Provides the sick with some medicine at the age of 14. He could have been a snow leopard, but he was told to be sheep. He could have been a snow leopard, but he was told to be sheep. And respect gravity. Apples do not fall far from trees. Though I wish you could have been a snow leopard like me. Then maybe, just maybe, you'd have lived past 23, and I wouldn't be standing here saying rest in peace.
And we stop, holding our breath. We cry and listen as one woman speaks, a truth we all recognize. 1B. And our emotional chores are socks on the floors. Sorry, not sorry, work is undone, dinner is wine. Sorry, honey, my sweet mouth is all bees. Today, one bee flew all around the world, and that bee went viral. Bad men flapped hysterical, but it settled for nothing. It had waited until now, hoping we might feel it buzz. We vibrate with bees. All over the world, women are buzzing, shaking their heads, hands on hips and thighs, looking into these dark lies, these darkening skies, lockjaw, and the bees pour. More and more and more wide open, snapdragon mouths, and the bees pour. Red raw, and each bee is screaming, enough is enough. Time's up. Me too. Sing it, sister, come on. You know the words, it's the same tune, just a different century. Together, we throw back our heads triggered and nudged. These hidden truths we store, and we roar, and we roar, and we roar, and the bees pour, and the bees pour, all the bees, all the bees, all the bees, all the bees of all they've ignored, and all that we stored in our heart's core. We roar with the bees. Women are buzzing. People are buzzing, phones buzz in pockets. We stare at screens and share it. Me too. I believe her. One by one, we stand up, side by side. We march on. We are here, and we are she. Before too long, the bees are eaten by bee eaters, badgers and bears. Birds of prey swoop and swallow the sting. There are wild cats and packs of snarling dogs. She-wolves, a pride of lions, tigers, gorillas, killer whales, a livid octopus in knots of plastic. Sorry, sir, you misunderstood. That sound is not a thunder of applause. That sound is the stampede of matriarch elephants charging and thumping and kicking and thrashing for every slag, slut, tart, whore, sow, for every queen, bitch, hen, doe, cow. She's speaking though, can you listen? You know, without interrupting. These furies smash through glass ceilings. This feeling, this rage, it's an old scab we pick. This outpouring, this gush of bloody melting lava from the guts of mother. Tell me you remember now. Oh, come on, try and remember now. If one of us is silent, remember how we are all made silent. Remember, if one of us is silent, remember how we are all made silent. So yeah, the bees, love. But before that, the fire. And the fire is old, born from the same flame that burnt the witch, the healer, and the magic. The friendly fire that now scorches schools and temples in man-made wars, made for man's own gain in a man-made world of man-made gold for man-made gods. So tell me again, come on, remind me of the last wishes of all of our great-grandmothers. I'm listening. I promise. Tell me again. Tell me why my blood boils, rumbling in knots in my DNA, my warrior, my goddess. Tell me of my queens and their blooded dreams of rebellion and resistance. See, says the honeybee, maybe it was never about where you are from on a man-made map in a man-made world, but who you are from. The mother we all come from. The earth we all come from. The queen bee, the first mother. How it starts one day with one bee, reminding us of stolen honey and all those hours of labor. Tell me about the secret life of bees. All the bees. All the bees. All the bees. All the silenced and all those cures for hysteria and all our erasure and the lockjaw yawn of centuries of being exhausted, of being distracted, of being tired, of being told to be nice and quiet and a good girl sitting on Papa's knee. Now is a good time.
Now is a good time. The time is now. Now is a good time. Now is a good time. Now is a good time. We are the change. We are the bees. We save the bees. We save ourselves. We are the change. We are the bees. We save the bees. We save ourselves. So buzz.
In 1851, Sojourner Truth made a speech at the Women's Convention in Akron, Ohio.
Seen most of them so. When I cried with my mother's grief, oh none but Jesus heard me. What is this thing they call intellect? Oh, well, what's that got to do with a women's rights and Negroes' rights? It's a woman. Look at these arms. I've planted and gathered into vines. Oh, no,
can do is keep on keeping on. Keep on sailing my good ship. Human colour is the colour I'm truly interested in, the colour of your humanity. May the size of your heart and the depth of your soul be your currency. Welcome aboard my good ship. Let us sail to the colourful island of mixed identity. You can eat from the cooking pot of mixed culture. There's no need for passports. There are no borders. We are all citizens of the world. Whatever shade you are, bring your light, bring your colour. Bring your music and your books, your stories and your histories, and climb aboard. United as people, we are a million majestic colours. Together, we are a glorious stained glass window. We are building a cathedral of otherness, brick by brick, song by song, and book by book. This is the 21st century, and we share this. We live here. We live here. In the future, it is a beautiful morning. It's the first light on the time of being other. So get out from that shade and feel the warmth of being outside. Because we tick other. We tick other.
We tick other.
We tick other. We tick other.
We tick other.
Dear, I hope you're well. I hope you're warm and dry. A safe place to lie your head, some oranges, some fresh bread. I hope home is safe and sound, shelter from a storm and high ground. I hope you make time to read and grow and water all those seeds you sow. You know you come, you know you go. That is how the humans flow.
Fight and flight, run and flee. Not one of you can feel free.
That's how it's always been, my dear.
Fight and flight, run and flee. Not one of you can feel free.
Not one of we can feel free.
My dear, I post this in a letter. I hope you can hold each other better.
That's how it's always been, my dear.
wind and fire, fuel and wars. Weary feet cross desert floors. Displacement, homeless, rearranging. Constant change is you, growing, changing. So I enclose a deep breath for healing, a match to burn all ill feeling, a monarch butterfly wing. Migration is a wonderful thing.
Clocks or maps. Clocks or maps.
Here's some lint for all you built, a peppermint to suck and soothe your guilt, your burning cities, your barren land. You drown with sharks, you choke on sand. Your lost babies, your bloody tissue, that you should bear that is the issue. Here's a bandage for your clots and splits, your hurts and passing blames in it, all dust and brick and crumbling shame, misdemeanors in God's name. Where do we bandage this world today? Where's the root of all the pain? Everything is bloodstained. Your ancestors and warrior past is between you and then and forever last.
Human function, human life, gnarly dogs snapping, the moonlight, masts in harbour, ships on shore, human cargo, stolen more.
Buried in your DNA, you carry tomorrow in your yesterday. Clocks and maps. Clocks and maps.
Clocks and maps. Time has passed. Migration is a wonderful thing.
Is meant to pass. Fight and flight. Fight and flight. Not one.
That's how it's always
That's
been.
how it's always
That's how it's
been,
always been.
my dear.
My dear. My dear, I hope you're well. I hope you're warm and dry. A safe place to lie your
My
head.
dear.
some oranges,
I hope you're well.
some fresh bread,
I hope you're warm and dry. A safe place to lie.
clean
your head.
water and clean air,
Some oranges, some fresh
space
bread.
to grow, room to share. Home
Clean
is just
water,
a marble in the
clean
sky.
air.
I roll it blue
Space to grow.
and green,
Room
and
to
I
share.
hope I am. And hope
Home is
am
just a marble in the sky. I roll it blue and green and I
hope,
hope I am.
hope,
And hope am I. See that free sky up above. Live with hope.
live with hope,
Live with love.
live with love.
With love. Hope.
I also just want to do a shout out to a couple of people. Errollyn Wallen, who wrote the fantastic, beautiful song on Nelson Mandela, is here. So a big round of applause to Errollyn. And also a big, big thank you. Some of these guys, these amazing musicians and poets, have worked with Lyrix Organix. And Dan Su, who runs Lyrix Organix, an amazing organisation, is also here, and they've provided the music, the words, these amazing animations. So, yeah. So thank you everyone for coming. Some food for thought, and see you at the next show.